That's what I'm talking about. This is Pantera, Mouth for War, from the Vulgar Display of Power album. What's going on? My name is Jeff, the owner, operator, CEO, the styling and profiling, copyright infringement of the Metal Haven. What's going on? This is the very first one I'm doing, and hopefully many more. So a little bit about myself. I live here in the great state of New York. I'll put great state in quotes. Big metal fan, been a metal fan all my life, from Sabbath to Slayer to, of course, Pantera and Metallica and Immortal and Mayhem and Deicide and a bunch of other bands from all over the world, Sepultura and, all over. So anyway, with that being said, welcome to the Metal Haven, your place to get some good reviews, some good ideas about some upcoming albums, and maybe some albums that you haven't gotten or even heard of, to build your foundation of what really is great hard rock and heavy metal, from Sabbath to Kiss to Zeppelin to Slayer and every other band in between. Starting today and every YouTube cast forward, we're going to go over the building blocks of what you need to have, maybe in my own opinion, the perfect collection of music. So now going forward, what we're going to do first, the album review time. An album review, let's do the first one. And this is a great album, in my opinion. It's on Nuclear Blast Records. It's the new one from Children of Bodom, Hail of Blood. My opinion, great from beginning to end. Loved it. Fast, furious, and strong. I'm not a man of a million words, so we'll just leave it at fast, furious, and strong. Some of you may have seen the shirt, the Grand Ole Opry. Yeah, not very metal in that shirt, but you know what? I do love some country music. Like Hank. What's metal? What's not metal and hard rock about a guy that drank himself all the way through life? And his father, sad story. Great. Anyway, back to the hard rock metal. Yes. Anyway, Children of Bodom, Hail of Blood. Hail of Blood, of course, the title track. Great song. And a few other songs I know you're going to like. Songs like Bodom Blue Moon and Damaged Beyond Repair. And the second album I want to tell you about that just came out, of course, this one. The new Black Sabbath album. Oh, look at that. Fire. Now you see it. Now you don't. Now you see it. Now you don't. Now you see it. Now you don't. Okay. I loved it. I bought the Best Buy version because it has 2 discs. And that second disc has 4 extra tracks. So for that reason alone, I had to get the official Best Buy version so I could get these 4 extra tracks. Anyway, coming back to the band, of course, Ozzy Osbourne, after all these years with a studio album, and Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler. Sadly, not in the band at the moment is Bill Ward, the original drummer. I was really hoping he'd be there, but I thought Brad Wilkes from Rage Against the Machine / Audioslave, I thought he did a phenomenal job. He's a great drummer, but it's still not the same without Bill Ward. I did get to see the original 4 play at the original Ozfest, and that was amazing. So you might be able to actually go onto YouTube and find video of one of those shows with the 4 original bands. I think they also did a DVD release. Actually, yeah, they did, The Last Supper. How could I forget? Because I have that DVD. So go out and get it. The Last Supper. It's a tour with all 4 original members. Some of the songs I did really like. Once again, I hate to sound repetitive, liked it from beginning to end, but there were a few songs from End of the Beginning, God is Dead, Damaged Soul, and Peace of Mind I thought were really great songs on the album. And overall, even though I thought I liked it better than Never Say Die and Technical Ecstasy, I do think that those two albums had some really good songs on it, but as a whole, this was much, much better. And actually, maybe in the future, we'll do a little thing where maybe I'll compare Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die and see which album wins in the mosh pit of those two albums. Don't take me too seriously, because I am a odd person with a strange sense of humor. So, let's get on to the next topic. And the next topic is that foundation of heavy metal that you're going to need. We all have, a lot of the new stuff that's out from all different genres. There's so much more out there now when it comes to hard rock and metal. There's so many different genres that have been subcategories. And I don't even want to go into it because there's too many of them. But you got to have the five. The first five, the original, the ground piece, the building blocks upon which all great hard rock, heavy metal is based on. And the first one, you can't go without saying the original Led Zeppelin album from 1969. And a little later in that year, the second Led Zeppelin album, Led Zeppelin 2, with songs like Moby Dick and Ramble On. The third album, the originators of all things heavy metal, Black Sabbath, the original Black Sabbath album, came out on Friday the 13th. We all know the story. Friday the 13th, 1970, in February. Should I run down the list of all the songs that are in it? Because we all know, songs like Black Sabbath and The Wizard and NIB are on the album. So, number 3, the fourth Deep Purple album, In Rock. Their previous album was actually pretty good, but not as good as this one. Deep Purple 3 I thought was a pretty good album. But that one's kind of laid the groundwork for where In Rock went and what it became. And they also started off a whole new era in their life by adding Ian Gillan on vocals, and of course Ritchie Blackmore and John Lord and Ian Pace were already there. And speaking, phenomenal song, starts off the album. But my favorite song on the album is probably one of my all-time favorite Deep Purple songs. It's probably top 3, maybe top 2, definitely top 3. But Child in Time, a phenomenal song. If you don't have it, you have to go and get this album. Go look it up. Go somewhere or go and buy it. That's what I suggest. Go and buy In Rock. So many people were influenced by it. It's a great song. The fourth album. I'm sorry. Yeah, my math is terrible. The fifth album is Paranoid from Black Sabbath. The only reason I put this fifth is because I went with the original release date of 1970, even though it came out in 71 here in the States. And the reason it was that lapse is because the original Sabbath album was still on the charts here in the States, and they didn't want both albums competing at the same time. Whatever, it's not like they do that now. They will do that now. But if you want to go on strictly U.S. release dates, then you would have to throw in Uriah Heep's album, Very Easy, Very Humble. And that was actually a really good album. Gypsy is a phenomenal, great, heavy hard rock song. So, fuck it. Let's do 6. We'll throw Uriah Heep's album in there. And next time, promise just 5. Probably 1 or 2, just a hint. Spoiler alert, for next week. 1 or 2 of those bands that I just mentioned, maybe 3, we don't know, because we are starting. It's not that they had 10 bazillion metal bands back in this early 70s, so you do have just a little bit to choose from. We'll be there. Probably should have thought this out a little bit better, but I didn't. I don't give a shit. And the last thing I want to do before we go is my pick of the week. And my picks of the week are not just albums that just came out. They could have been out for a week, a month, a year, or decades. It's just like I just go through my collection. I'm like, ooh, I haven't listened to this album in a long time. I want to listen to it, and I want you to listen to it too. And this one is the newest album from Darkthrone, out on Peaceville Records, The Underground Resistance. An awesome album, once again, from beginning to end. But Lesser Man really sticks out, and their very last song on the track, Leave No Cross Unturned. Shit, I almost fucking burped. But that's okay. I'm going to probably go scratch my butt later. But anyway. Probably shouldn't have told you that. It's a little bit too much for you to know about me on the very first one of these. Leave No Cross Unturned, The Underground Resistance from Darkthrone. And while you're at it, why don't you go back and check out some of the older Darkthrone black metal albums that came out. I consider them probably the second wave of black metal, figuring the first wave you had like Merciful Fate and Bathory, and some people might want to throw Venom in there just because they came up with the name black metal with the song black metal on the album black metal. So anyway, until next time, my name is Jeff. This is the Metal Haven. You can check me out on Twitter at the Metal Haven. You can email me, themetalhaven@gmail.com, and soon to be themetalhaven.com. So until next time, keep it fucking metal, motherfuckers. Later.